Maheshwari Devi Dasi ki jai. My special guest today. Krishna always supplies good association. And Krishna has sent Sandeep Prabhu and Maheshwari Didi and Janvi, their daughter, our God family from Delhi Vrindavan, Govardhan. They co-manage our Vrindavan and Govardhan temples together, like our temple presidents. Servitors. And Maheshwari Didi's our dear God sister who actually born in Mathura, we're very proud of this, raised in like Delhi area.
No. Raised in a port town called Vishakhapatnam. And a mountain town called Dehradun.
Okay, where are these places?
So Dehradun is in Uttarakhand now,
okay,
which used to be UP, and Vishakhapatnam is in Andhra Pradesh. It's on the coastal side below Bhubaneswar.
Okay. Kind of near where the Godavari River is?
Lower
not
than
far.
that.
Little south?
Yes, little south.
Okay.
South of that.
And interestingly, you joined our mott in Santa Cruz, California.
Yes.
So, Sandeep Prabhu had a job in Silicon Valley.
Yes.
And they moved to California. And tell us how you met the devotees. Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Maharaj is where we have our big ashram in Santa Cruz, California. Tell us how you found our devotees and how you joined.
No, they found us. They found us and saved us. We were living in a small town called Santa Cruz, and my in-laws, Sandeep's parents, were visiting us. And I am fond of reading, so I had taken them along with me to the public library to pick up a few books. And I was wearing Western clothes, but my mother-in-law was wearing Indian clothes. And there was, who was, Sureshwari Didi, I remember. They were there in the public library distributing prasadam, and they saw my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. They could understand that they were from India. They approached them, asked them where they were from, and invited them to come to the temple. And so we all got a little excited about, having a temple in Santa Cruz. So we took them there the first time. I remember driving into the driveway of the Sokwell ashram, and there, because the kitchen is right opposite, it's the first thing you see, when you drive in and you walk towards the temple, and I saw this Didi making chapatis. That was such a positive sign for me, being a cook. I think, all these things are really special. So, and then we met Janardhan Maharaj and all the devotees, Hasapriya Prabhu, and they invited us again. They told us we have Sunday programs and please come back for that. And my in-laws had to fly away, but Sandeep and I went, and that was the beginning of everything, because, Sokwell is known for its opulent and beautiful prasadam. Where else in the world would you get? I don't know, in many other places where you get pineapple halwa, chocolate halwa, gulab jamuns, kachoris, and so many different. So I think first we went for the prasadam, then we went for the association, and the rest is history. And we had the fortune of meeting Gurudev in California, Sokwell, for the first time. And then we came to, we were visiting India in 1999, and at that point we wanted to take initiation. So again, we got very fortunate that Gurudev was in Vrindavan, and everybody urged us to go to Vrindavan to take his shelter in his lotus feet. So on the auspicious day of Radha Ashtami in Vrindavan, Sandeep and I, we took initiation from Srila Bhakti Sundar Govind Dev Goswami Maharaj. That's how the journey began, and to be frank, I never thought, never imagined that it would bring me here or anywhere else. I thought I would lead an ordinary middle-class housewife life, always. But the joy, the feeling of being saved, the feeling of having this beautiful family. I think this all came from, Gurudev's grace, and we're still here. We're all of us here, and I get this opportunity to say something. And so, what more can I say? That I have been saved, and he's trying to save me, and I'm trying to resist. But still, to be here, I feel very fortunate.
Maheshwari Didi is she's a mother of Janvi, who is a college student now in India. Mm-hmm. She's here with us somewhere. And she's also, you got certified in Ayurveda. You did a course, right?
No.
Didn't you complete your course?
No, I never had, or I don't think I ever got a chance or the desire to do a course, because I always had good doctors, mm-hmm. and I could always go back to them for any advice. But yes, they introduced me to this wonderful concept of Ayurveda, which my family wasn't aware of when we were growing up, because it was a modern Indian middle class family, had its own struggles, had its own things to cope up with, so they had no time for Ayurveda or spirituality. So I think, again, by the mercy of our Acharya Jans, I got introduced to Ayurveda, and I realized that it is what saves us from really drowning in this material world, because it teaches you how to live your life. The basic concept of Ayurveda is just balance. How do you balance everything? How do you not go in extremes in anything, and you balance yourself? So yes, I started getting very attracted towards Ayurveda, started practicing it in small ways, came across some good doctors, so they helped me more to understand what the concept is behind it, and how we can apply it in our daily lives. And it's not that hard. It's not some very very difficult thing. It is just very simple things, basics, that Ayurveda teaches you, and you kind of start slowing down and start listening to your body, the environment you are in, the season you are in, the country you are in, what you are feeling. It stops you from really running and pushing and pulling and slowing down and listening to everything, and then getting your body and your mind and everything in balance. So yes, Ayurveda is something that I think we should all probably get in touch with, because it is not something that is just Indian, like how people associate everything with India. It is not Indian. It is the basic, science of life, which applies to everyone, not just to Indians or yogis or like that. So mm-hmm. Yes, Ayurveda is something we should try and explore and see how it works for us, because Ayurveda teaches that everybody is unique. What works for you may not work for me. Mm-hmm. What works for me may not work for him. And why our body is going through certain conditions is what it teaches us.
Mm-hmm. And she's also keeping an eye out that we don't overdose on mangoes in mango season, and
yes.
No yogurt at nighttime, and certain things. She's always taking care of all of us. And if I can get really personal and vulnerable for a second, I remember you and Sandeep Prabhu wanting to have a child, and mm-hmm. for the longest time it mm-hmm. wasn't happening.
Yes.
Then I remember you being prescribed ghee, right? Didn't that help the whole process? Wasn't that helpful?
Ghee is the exhaler of this world. If there is one thing I would take with me, if I had to go somewhere and be marooned on an island, I would take ghee with me. I wouldn't take anything else, because what I have learned is that every cell of a body needs fat, and good fat, and that good fat comes from ghee, and especially cow. And if I may go so, Indian Desi breed, the original, the native breed. That's the best. Then of course, as you go down and then you go on to other kinds of ghees like buffalo and Jersey cow, which is very popular. Yes, ghee is what I was advised to have in the beginning when I went to the Ayurvedic doctor, because I am Vata, I have been Vata, and I was under the modern concept of dieting, had given up all sorts of fats. I thought that, like I was in America for a little while, you kept hearing about all these, eat salads, and I was doing that. I was, removing all the fat from our body, and it was harming me. I didn't realize it, but it was harming me a lot. And yes, ghee was one of the things which I was recommended. It was a little hard because you have been trained in a certain way, and then all of a sudden you're told have 3 spoons, 4 spoons, in a day, and you're like, oh, how? And then you get used to it, but then you start realizing how your body is craving for that good fat. Water doesn't do it. When you need to lubricate something, you don't put water there, do you? You put oil, you put grease there. So how can we think, that the water would just take care of all the lubrication and the hydration of our body? No, it's actually, we need oil, we need ghee, we need good fat for those things. So yes, ghee was one of those things, and yes, that was the time when I was exploring, and I got introduced to my Ayurvedic doctor when I had completely reached the end of my patients, and I was just done with allopath, taking injections, hormones, all this thing. It wasn't working, it was stressing me out, and that's when I came across my Ayurvedic doctor. And then of course I also went to Gurudev. I think he was the one who gave me the child. Ayurveda didn't, but he helped me find everything else and everyone else, like the good Ayurvedic doctor, what I needed in my life.
We have a beautiful picture of you offering Janvi to Gurudev.
Yes, that was the first time we took Janvi to Gurudev, and we were stupid. We still are. We just said, here, this is your baby. And he very lovingly put his hand on her head. So whatever bad thing she does, I know that she will be saved, because he blessed her. He was there. He gave her to us. So yes, we have.
She's an initiated disciple of Goswami Maharaj and a good devotee, and Gurudev would be very proud.
I don't
to
know
see
about
her
that
today.
I have doubts about that, but we still have hope, right?
Yeah.
We live in hope. That's what carries us, in the uncertain and bleak times.
So my real question for you today, very intriguing topic of the subtle and hidden power of women, of the feminine, not only in Vedic culture, but more specifically in Gaudiya Vaishnava culture. Anything you want to say about that, some history and beyond, oppressive narratives, and of course there is, as we were talking, there is oppression in that, in the role of women in Vedic culture, but acknowledging it's not perfect, but how the power dynamics work for the feminine, for the women in Vaishnava culture.
So I'm not a scholar or a philosopher, so I will not be probably able to speak very highly, but I will just, from my experience, from my life and what I've seen and heard and gone through, say a few things. We actually never really thought about this or heard anything about it while growing up, because I really did not see, frankly, the women of my family or around me as oppressed. My father and mother had a very good relationship. My father never made any major decisions without consulting my mother, and same for her. Even in my extended family, I never saw any of my aunts, my cousins. My grandmother was a strong woman. So I never really came across any oppression as such. So frankly, I did not hear about it until I went to America. That's where everybody thinks that Indian women are oppressed, Indian women have, are not allowed to speak, not allowed to go to work, not allowed to do this. And I was like, I didn't see any of that. But maybe I lived a privileged life, maybe, so I didn't see it. But I can also say that after seeing many stratas of life, seeing many different levels of people, I can say that of course there is oppression, but it isn't limited to India, it isn't limited to Asia, it's everywhere, and we oppress anyone we can oppress. So people oppress who get oppressed. But if you look at it, I have help at home, so these women from lower financial stratas coming to my house and working for me, and I tell you, they are very strong women. They are not oppressed. Just because they might have to defer to their husbands or fathers doesn't make them oppressed, because they take financial decisions. They are coming out there, when they had no exposure, just because their husband could not support them financially, they decided to step out. These are illiterate women who have had no exposure. They weren't allowed to, step out of the house. We'll talk about the allowing of stepping out of women. But now, when they realized that they also had to help their husbands earn money, they stepped out. And the husbands support them, knowing very well that they cannot single-handedly carry the financial burden of the family. And they are very strong women. They might not appear to be strong, they might not claim they are strong, but they are very strong. This one help of mine, completely illiterate, she cannot write, she cannot read, but you ask her any math question, simple math question, like where you have to take this percentage of loan and how much will you have to pay an EMI, she'll give you an answer immediately, even faster than I can calculate. She's really good. She's the one who actually manages the whole financial finances of their family. Like, she just got her daughter married, they took a massive loan. She's the one who knows how much EMI is going to be paid to who. And zero schooling. There is no oppression. I don't see any oppression in her, because she is an equal partner in her husband's life, makes all major decisions are made by her. So, a lot of it, when the Britishers came to India, they saw our culture. They came from an extremely different culture. They came to our culture, which was absolutely traditional, and was rooted in traditions and rooted in scriptures, rooted in dharma, rooted in all the good things we talk about now. And they could not understand it. They could not understand it, they could not digest it. They wanted us to feel inferior about what we had been doing, what we were taught to do. So they were the ones who started finding and looking at it with very critical eyes. So people talking about women not having freedom to move out of the house and making those decisions. Okay, when you have a very expensive, beautiful, cherished gem in your house, what do? Do you put it in your drawing room? Do you put it on display? No, you put it in a safe place. So in India, women had that position of being cherished, being beautiful, known that the men knew that we have to take care of them, not oppress them. It was just taking care. When I take care of my daughter, I'm not trying to oppress her. I'm just trying to take care of her, knowing that I have more experience in this world than she does, and I want to take care of her. So that is what our philosophy was regarding women, that women need that extra care, and so we did it at home. We did not send them out too much. But women in Vedic culture who wanted to go out and do things were not stopped. We have many examples of women going out and studying scriptures and becoming acharyas, not getting married. They weren't forced into getting married. They did all the things which their heart told them to do. So the Britishers are to be blamed for having this negative perception about our society, about the way our women were treated. And of course the Muslims, they also had come before that. They had run atrocities on the women. So you'll be surprised to know that we had no parda system, where the women have a veil on their face. We never had it. We never had it in our culture. It came when the Muslims came, because the Muslims, targeted the women. So to save them, so that the bad eye doesn't fall on them, they were instructed to, cover their faces so that they could be saved from these malechas. So the Britishers came later, they see all these wrongs, they don't cherish their women as much as the Indians did, so they could not understand what all these little things were about. Just like, oh, women are considered impure during their period. No, never, ever. It wasn't about purity. It was about giving those 5 days of rest to a well-deserved rest to a woman who carries the burden of running the entire house on her shoulders. So they misunderstood everything, they misconstructed everything, took it back, put it all together and came back and said, oh, this is a very, very, inferior society. They have no idea about how to give equality to women and, everything is wrong here. Let's start changing it. Oh, they have cows? No, let's get them buffaloes. Buffaloes give them more milk. All those kind of things. So they kind of did a lot of wrong, and they took all those things back and propagated it. So and then when you come to our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we have all the signs and all the, all the songs we sing every single day. Yashomati Nandan. Okay, we say Yashomati Nandan, we say Sachi Nandan, we say Sachi Sutta. We are not really talking about the fathers here too much. Why aren't we? These are songs written by acharyas long time back. They also knew what powers a woman had as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, as a human being. So they recognized that, but we never were in your face kind of feminists. I don't have to prove my femininity or my power or the knowledge I have to you. It was all subtle. It was all subtle, and women are smart enough to realize that sometimes we just have to say, yes, yes dear, no dear, of course dear, but we know who makes the decisions. Who actually gets all the decisions made and done in the house. So I don't see a lot of it, but of course there are always crimes against women, but then that's prevalent everywhere in the world. Unfortunately, even in the countries which have given equal rights, what they call equal rights to women, we have crimes. We don't have very happy women there. Why? Why? Because we are putting all that pressure on them again. We want them to be at the same level as men. Why? We are better than them. Why do we have to stoop down? So, it's very interesting that people have this wrong perception about the women in India, how they work, or how they aren't given equal opportunities, or they don't have the freedom to speak. Well, I don't see that too much. I have traveled a lot in India, and I interact with a lot of women, and I ask, I get friendly. I really never got that impression. Now, women, if they feel they are oppressed or abused or in an abusive relationship, they can come out. Yes, maybe it wasn't true, I really don't know, but I think things are changing. Sometimes you think things are changing for the better, but we are kind of moving backwards by not cherishing our women, by not giving them that extra care that they need, because maybe we are not physically as strong as you are, but everywhere else we can do so much more than you can. But we need that special care, special attention, and I think a lot of it is misconstructed in the media, and one incident happens, and then everybody gets painted with the same thing, and everybody is generalized, everything else is generalized about it. So no, I think, and don't we all also live our karma? We all live our karma. I might, someone else is born in the same kind of a family as I am, but would have different experiences, and we really can't do much about that. because we all live out our karma. But I don't think we should generalize anything, and we should not be out there trying to prove something. We are, how they say, two wheels of the same vehicle, and if one gets broken or one is not working properly, the other one will not function completely. So let's just, again, balance each other and, live like that.
And we were very blessed with our Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj.
Yes.
Everybody who knew him
Yes.
knew that he had more faith in his
Daughters.
daughter section than the men.
Yes.
It's just, the men had to swallow that one and accept it. He saw, like, I can trust them more, they're more devotionally inclined. Just look in the temple room on an average day. Who's the majority participating in the devotional
Absolutely.
programs? Who's sacrificing their lives?
Yes.
He was a father of 3 daughters.
Yes.
And he had a lot of faith in his daughters.
Yes, and you can actually see it being played out right now in all our major centers across the world. We have women leaders, women who are leading and who are managing the temples, on their own without the support, some support, yes, of course, and making major decisions and intuitively finding, what's needed, what needs to be done, and, where we need to go. I think, yes. Yes, and none of our scriptures, none of our, books given to us by our acharyas ever say anything degradatory about women or that they are any less than men. Just because they need some, extra care, extra protection doesn't mean them more, that they are any less.
Yeah.
They have been known as, women are known as, or nurturers and caretakers better than men. So that's where, our strong points are.
And everyone who knew Gurudev could see that actually the women power, the feminine power was not a subtle hidden thing. He brought it to the forefront and let the women shine.
Yes.
And I remember him saying once that in history, now women can own land in India, but before it was prohibited because, he said, because everyone knew how powerful the women were. And if you let them do that one more thing,
there
would be a power imbalance.
Yes.
So it was just for optics.
Yes, exactly.
And then later revoked.
Yes, and there are instances where, maybe a century back or something, some mathematician or a scientist had to go for some conference abroad, and he didn't go. And when asked, why didn't you go, or why aren't you going, he said, my mother did not give me permission to go. Simple as that. He's a scientist, he's a rational man, as you call him, but his mother said no, because in India it was considered that if you crossed the sea, you had to come back and then get purified. It was considered impure to go across the sea and come back. So his mother said, no, I won't let you go. And he didn't go. And I don't think he complained about it to anyone. So, we have these instances, where, and we have the greatest example here. Lord Krishna is known as the Shaktiman. Shakti, what is Shakti? That is the one standing next to him. Radharani is a Shakti. Lord Shiva, he's called Nareshwar. Why? Because he's not, very powerful without Ma Parvati. He feels incomplete without Ma Parvati. We know how devastated he was when Sati Devi, self-immolated herself and wasn't present, and he went away to do tapa. So, we have all these things. Why do we have to look at only the things that are, happening around, small things? Let's look at, what our acharyas give us, what Gurudev told us, and what we see now around us, that we balance each other, we complement each other, and we should go on like that.
We received a comment because the last 2 morning class episodes we did here were with Srila Bhakti Pranay Padmanabha Maharaj, and I interviewed him. We sat here together, and one of our viewers commented like an extraordinary, respectful exchange from both sides, that he's not just a Vaishnava, he's a sannyasi and he's one of our acharyas. And how respectfully he dealt with me as just an interviewer, God sister, devotee, servitor. And like how much humility and how much respect was there in our dealings. And that was not anything new. I also spent most of 20 years living with Gurudev in the Math in India. And I never, that was the very normal dealing that I'm used to.
Right.
And, but for someone from the outside looking in, seeing, wow.
Yes, just because we defer to our husbands or to our fathers, that doesn't mean that, we don't have the right to make decisions, or we don't have we don't have freedom. It is just a sign of respect also. We are taught right from the beginning to respect our elders, and in a marriage, a husband is called Parmeshwar. Wife is not called, a goddess. But everybody knows that she is the Annapurna of the house. So, but he will not be Parmeshwar without having a devotee, right? So someone has to take that position, and he also recognizes, the power and the Shakti that his wife has and respects it. And that's how they go on.
Well, and any closing words for our viewers and devotees watching this, and for the especially our sisters and the women who are maybe experiencing some in other missions, especially. They don't have this experience. And what kind of hope is there for them, and how can they assume their power? How can they grow into their power and their voices and proceed in a healthy way, and especially in our Gaudiya Vaishnava culture?
I'm not really qualified to give advice to anyone or say these things, but I go back to what Gurudev always insisted upon, humility, tolerance, and giving respect to others. And, he would always say that in his life, when nothing else worked, he said this worked. And I can say, yes, it works. I've seen it. When I've tried to be arrogant, when I had pride in myself about, doing certain things or being a certain way, it never worked. It brought me down again and again. But when you start saying that, oh, I'm just a peg in this wheel, and I'm not really qualified, and when you go back to the humility, and then when you start tolerating what you see as things that you don't like in others, things start to get better. Take my word for it. I have gone through it. When I tried to change things, or when I wanted to be a blade leader, why is this happening? And then things changed, but not to the extent they changed when I tried to wait and see and be humble, tolerate the other person for a while and see how it goes. So that's what we have to go back to, some basics. And then have faith. Always have faith in Guru and Krishna, because they will not let you down. They will not let you down. Maybe this is something that you have to suffer for a while. We all have to. At a certain point, we have to suffer things which we don't want to, right? That's what suffering is about. We don't like this in our life. We go through it, but you come out of it stronger. You come out of it with more insight into life and people. So be humble, be tolerant, and give respect, and that always works.
Just
And
one
changes.
last point on that. I never conceived of anyone, especially women, feeling that advice would be oppressive until I came across some women from another mission. They felt like if I'm humble, if I'm tolerant, if I give honor, not wanting honor, and just maybe I'd turn into a doormat. People walk all over me. I need to I need to fight for my
Fight.
rights, not be humble, tolerant, and respectful. Like
Yes.
complete opposite.
Yes.
And I never thought of that. I never experienced that.
Exactly.
That's not your advice.
No.
But such things exist.
They do. But even to my daughter, who is a modern Gen Z that they call themselves, I tell her, I keep telling her, don't fight. Don't fight a lot because that doesn't work out in the end. Wait. Gurudev always had wait and see, wait and see, wait and see. You know what Gurudev and Lord Krishna has in plans for you. Fighting never really solved any problems. We've gone through many wars, we've gone through many battles. We go through fights in our daily personal lives. They don't lead you anywhere. They just make you angry, the other person angry, and then you have these bad feelings between you. Someone gave me this very valuable advice in my early days of marriage, because yes, I came from that thing that, why should I, I also will speak, I will also shout, I will also, get angry and, have a fight with my husband. And we were having these very common, very frequent fights. So I was talking to my best friend. She also got married at the same time, and I told her that we're fighting a lot, we keep arguing, and the argument never stops. It stops for a moment and then it continues again. And she gave me the best advice that I'm glad I implemented it in my life. She said, when both of you are shouting, you keep quiet, and you, if you get a chance, go out of the room. You will save yourself, and you will save him also. And that has worked. We have been married for 32 years. And yes, there are times when I want to kill him, but I still don't want to leave him. And I think it's the same for him. But this is what we do, I mean, this is what even now I do, but I think Sandeep has started learning that now. That, okay, we try and, not try to overpower the other person. It is not about me being right and me being loud and me being, always right. Just calm down, have a decent conversation, and you will definitely find a solution, to whatever that you are fighting for. So fighting, I don't think has ever helped anyone, and it won't. Fighting for rights, fighting for this and that, if you look at the big picture, people feel that, women did not have right to vote, women did not have right to own property and all those things. Maybe if you give them those things, things have changed, but I still don't feel that those are worth, fighting for.
Yeah, and we know who does the laundry.
Who does the laundry and,
Sandeep does the laundry.
And makes the bed.
And makes the bed.
And makes the bed at home. He cleans the kitchen after I've done the cooking. So, you go back to, everything goes back to, having a balance.
Being a team.
Being a team. And other thing I want to say is that sacrificing for the other person. It doesn't make you oppressed. It doesn't make you oppressed when you sacrifice for your partner, for your Gurudev, for your child. It makes you a better person. It helps you also purify. So I feel that sacrifice holds a very important place in everybody's life. We should always think, like how it is, someone comes and tells you, can you do this for me? I'm like, I'm just going for a nap, I'm tired, can I just go? No, stick around, see if you can do this. If you're not completely, falling apart, see if you can do it. See if you can make that sacrifice for the other person. So whenever in a situation, try and see if you can go beyond your limits to help the other person. That helps. That always helps, and I've seen it helping in all relationships. In every relationship, when you, and don't do it in that obvious way. Oh, I gave up my mango for you. Don't do that. Don't make it like okay, give me a price for this. This is something that has to be done.
Someone's keeping track.
Yeah, keeping track. No, let's not keep track of those things. Do it subtly, do it in a way that the other person doesn't know about it. Then it's a true sacrifice, not when you, blow your trumpet and say, tell everyone. If we can, absorb these things in our daily life, in our daily actions, thoughts, and, talk, in our words, I think we will all benefit from it. That's my experience. That's all I can say, that has been my experience. And I got very lucky because I had Gurudev to teach me something like this, because it wasn't there before he came into my life, and he gave these words to us to live by. So we've all heard it, but let's try and implement it in small ways.
Love means sacrifice.
Love means sacrifice, yes.
Well, we can't thank you enough.
Oh, please.
Thank you is not sufficient.
No, it's my pleasure, and I'm so grateful for you.
Maheshwari Didi is
I'm nothing.
accessible for whoever has
that's true.
questions for her.
Yes.
For years you've been doing Chinese Zoom meetings, Bhagavad Gita classes.
We haven't been doing this.
You haven't done it in a little while,
Yeah.
because the only reason for that is because Zoom is not working in China.
Yes. But yeah, now we are getting it up online, and I also have to start getting motivated about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's available.
Yes,
and
of
if you
course.
ever, our viewers and devotees, visit Vrindavan, Govardhan, they will get the fortune of meeting Maheshwari Didi and Sandip Prabhu and Janvi, and they're lovingly caring for our temples there.
We're trying.
And we're very lucky when once in a while we get your visits here in Thailand. Today Maheshwari Didi is going to be cooking, head cook in our kitchen today, and everyone can come and learn something. How to properly, the science of spicing, masala, chancing.
I'm learning. I'm still learning. But I would love to share whatever little I know.
She's a master in the kitchen, we all know that. And healthy, not SoCal style, over the top, butter, sugar.
No, we leave that for Janmashtami.
Yeah.
All the butter for Krishna on Janmashtami.